I know, I go to my mother's house at least once a week to grocery shop and pick up my meal. A couple weeks ago when I went to her house, it was a funny smell in the hallway, but I ignored it thinking maybe somebody was just cooking something stink. I came back the second week and the smell was still there, so of course I asked her like, yo, y'all don't smell that? She started explaining to me how they repairing the compactor room and how the smell might be coming from there. We ignored it still. Now it's going on the third week and you have to hold your breath while walking down the hallway because that's how bad the smell is. Now at this point, everybody on the floor talking about it, but it's Friday evening and you can't report anything till Monday morning because the management office is closed over the weekend. So boom, fast forward to Monday afternoon, my mother sends me a text and there's ring camera footage. Bro, it was a video of the police breaking down the door and pulling out a dead body in the apartment next to us. So we basically been inhaling zombie for the last 3 weeks. Her exact words were, if you post that video on TikTok, I'ma beat your ass. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna share it with y'all, but the story is just as crazy, like.
So I'm sitting in my car because I just got home. I was away for a day for a staycation. It was really nice. And then I just got home and I haven't been in my apartment for an hour. And I had to come outside for some peace because of how loud my neighbors are. Like, that's the same woman I posted that video about. It went viral. And for the ones that are going to be like, oh, you live in an apartment, what did you expect? Shut up. Shut up. I pay my rent just like she does. I'm considerate of people below me. I've not had this issue until she came. I am so annoyed because I don't think I can finish out the rest of my lease here. So people who are leasing agents, please tell me there's a noise clause, something where at this point it's too much. I've complained too many times and I can just get out of my lease without paying for, oh, release me out of my lease, because I'm not volunteering to just leave. I'm being forced out. I will not live with this for another 6 months. And I've been thinking to myself, should I just tough through it? I can't watch TV. I can't have people over. I cannot do anything. Even now, I'm considering leaving and going to one of my friend's house or my boo joint's house because I have no peace at this apartment where I'm paying all my money. So, one, you guys commented and said to beat back. I did that, almost broke my pinky. So that made me even more mad. That's why I even went upstairs. Then the other option was call the police and say that you think that something's going on upstairs and you're not sure and you're concerned. But I don't want to waste their time. But at the same time, I don't know what's going on up there.
My neighbors are really starting to creep me out and I can't take it anymore. I wasn't going to say anything, but let me just set the scene for you. Okay, so I moved into this place literally years ago. I was the first one on the block, right? So then all of a sudden they start building these townhomes literally directly behind me. I'm really frustrated about this, by the way, because my landlord never mentioned that there was going to be anyone behind me, and I will get to that later. Let's get into the good stuff. The freaking neighbors. What's going on? This all started last October. My birthday's October 4th. So it was a few days before that because my mom and sister came over to take some pictures for my birthday. As we're standing in the backyard taking a couple pictures, I'm holding a cake. I'm holding a cake that says 29. You can tell it's my birthday. And I was taking pictures with my mom. My sister was taking them. All of a sudden I see one of my neighbors pop out. And she doesn't just like come outside and naturally is doing whatever she's doing. She comes outside and she's just staring. She's just staring at us like couldn't care less. This isn't an older lady, by the way. They're all about my age. So really freaking weird. And they all have kids. I'm getting there, but it's not just one neighbor. It's three. It's three. I digress. So going back. Oh my gosh. As I'm saying this, one just came outside. You're joking. I'm telling you guys, I'm 1 minute into this video. I'm not kidding when I tell you, I cannot go to any of my windows, be anywhere near a window where like a neighbor back there might be able to see me without them coming outside and just staring at me. Girl, what? What do you want? Like, she's just staring. I'm on the second level right now. I'm in my bedroom filming, and I know she can hear me too because I can hear every little thing that goes on outside. Sorry, I'm so flustered. I feel like that this video is really just going to be a jumbled mess. And watch, her little thing 1 and thing 2 are going to come out next. So anyway, that birthday one was really creepy because so basically the girl that's staring at me right now is in house number 1. Then there's house number 2 and house number 3. As far as I've seen, none of these girls know each other. I've never seen them interact. I've never seen these people talk to each other. Nothing. The only one I've seen is that the one in the middle talks to the one that's directly next to me. Like, she's not in the back. She's lived here since I lived here. So I don't know how those two know each other. I feel freaking awkward and my anxiety's through the roof because this girl can literally hear everything I'm saying, which is what she wants, I'm sure. So since that first time in October on my birthday, I'm not kidding, every single time I've been outside, I've been near a window, I've been in my kitchen, wherever they can see me in the house, they immediately come out. And this is the weird thing. Their blinds will all be closed, their curtains will be closed, and somehow they still freaking know as soon as I'm near a window or I'm outside. So here's the kicker. The one in the middle is the one that really irks me. She is the one that first did it, and she is the one who will just stand and stare. I started staring back, and she doesn't break. She doesn't stop. She just keeps staring at me. I literally feel like I can't live in my own house. Like, it's actually starting to irritate me because I was the first freaking person to live here, and then they all come in. Like, this building wasn't even here. It wasn't even here, and I'm so frustrated because, like, I've loved living in this place, but I actually feel like this is a deal breaker, and I'm gonna have to move when my lease is up. Okay, I'm sorry to do this, but go to part 2. My neighbors are really creepy. Part 2, if you haven't seen part 1, go check that out. It's the last one I posted. This is the most frustrating part about this to me. Okay, as you guys know, I'm an influencer, whatever you want to call it. I do social media marketing, so I make videos for brands, and part of that is that I need natural sunlight. Like, I can't make good videos if the lighting isn't good. And so when I got into this place, I specifically got it for content creation. So I purposely got this because there used to be a field behind me all the way down. So at the time I was like, this is freaking perfect. Like, I have all the sunlight in the world and nobody behind me. I was wrong. My landlord failed to mention to me that they were going to be building other townhomes behind me, which is really annoying because that was the whole purpose and why I got this place. Only these homes get built, and honestly, it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal if I didn't have the world's creepiest neighbors. A couple weeks ago, I had to film for a brand, and I was down in my kitchen where there's the most natural lighting and where I can show you guys these dresses because, like, they're floor-length dresses, so I needed enough space between me and the camera, enough of the natural lighting, whatever. As I'm filming, the chick that lives directly behind me, the one that just came out in my last video and was staring at me, she just starts staring from her kitchen. Just stares and stares. It's the whole time that I'm making this video, so it takes me like about an hour to make those types of videos. Yeah, she's just staring, just standing in her back door. Like, there's no reason for you to be there. So that's another strike, is that I'm just trying to work from the comfort of my own home, and this is where it gets creepy to me. If I was outside, okay, I'm in a public place, but I am living in my own private home, and you are staring into my house. Next day, I'm trying to film a video with Colton, and what happens? I put my phone up literally on that back door. She comes out in her kitchen, and she's just staring at us. Staring. Okay, glaring is what I should say, glaring at us. I told him, I was like, I can't make this video. I feel so uncomfortable. So I said, let's move it to the living room window because I have like a sticky thing on my phone. So I just put it on the window. And I told him, I said, not that it's going to matter because I know the second we go over there, that one's going to come out of her house. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? My phone, I just have to slap it to the window and it sticks so that I can start filming. I didn't even have time to do that. The second I pulled the blinds up, she literally like books it to the back of her door and she just opens it. And tell me how weird this is. We live in Utah. Do you know how freaking freezing cold it is here? Okay, not only that, on multiple occasions where it's been snowing outside, as soon as I'm at my back door or my window or whatever, she has her kids go play outside and they're not dressed for the snow, okay? These are like 2-year-old kids. They walk outside, they start playing for a few minutes, and she just that girl, she's back out. She's back out here. Right as I'm talking, she comes back outside. This is an actual joke. Okay, there she is. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? So anyway, the third one has done this multiple times as well, but she's a little bit more like down the lane, so I don't see her as much. But the second one and the first one, it's every day of my life. I live no peace in this house. She never just like looks and checks up on what I'm doing. Not that that's even okay, but it's not like she just checks and then she's like, oh, okay, this girl's just taking pictures out here. She just stands and stares. It's like how you go to the grocery store and you can feel like the manager or an employee staring, just standing over your shoulder, making you feel like you're stealing something. That's how this feels. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't talked to any of them ever, so it's not like they have any reason to not like me. The first time I ever even saw these ones after they moved in was when I went outside to go take pictures for my birthday with my mom and my sister, and it was just so weird. And my mom and sister were like, that is creepy. So creepy. And now my fiance is getting creeped out. So it's not just me, okay? But guess who's the one? Oh, there she is. There's thing number 2. I can't get through one freaking 2-part video without having multiple of them come out and stare at me. And I stare back and I'm like, I make gestures now. I didn't used to. It took me until like a week ago before I finally started being like, what? What do you want? And she knows I'm irritated and she just keeps doing it. She's just staring at me. What's really odd to me is that the 3 of them don't seem to know each other. I've never seen a single one of them ever like talk or anything like that. So I'm just super confused because why do they all 3 do the same thing if they don't even know each other? Like, it would make a little bit more sense if they seemed like they were all buds and like maybe they've had a conversation about me or something and they all did it. But no, I don't think they've even ever talked amongst each other. So I'm just very, very, very confused. And like, what do you do to stop something like this? Like, how do you stop your neighbor from being creepy? I don't know. I literally don't know. If anyone should be ostracized on this block, it should be thing number 3, because that one is the one that throws house parties really late at night. I don't get it. I don't get it. And if anyone has any ideas of things that I could do without being like super confrontational, even though that's what I want to do, even though it's what I want to do. I don't want to cause issues with my neighbors, but then again, it's just like, how do you confront 3 of them? I'm in a weird spot, you know? Anyway, wait for the next update. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I live in Utah. I'm not from Utah, and I feel like the people here are just a different breed. I will never get used to it. People have a tendency to be like so nosy here, but they'll never approach you and like say hi or introduce themselves or anything, so it's just really weird and awkward. One thing that I've noticed since living in Utah is like I'll see people that I know out in public and they don't acknowledge you at all. Like, it's so weird here. I don't get it. So while we're here, I'm gonna give an update on a couple other things and like address some things that people keep commenting about. Number 1 is I don't feel threatened by them at all. I'm not like feeling nervous for my safety or anything like that. It's just weird and I want my own privacy. Like I said, I don't want to be in my house and I can see that my neighbor is staring into my house at me. It's just like, imagine living like that, you know, in your house. Number 2 is they know I'm not filming them because 1, I started filming about 3 months after they started staring at me, and they'll stare even when I don't have my phone in my hand. And then lastly with this one, the first time that I ever got stared down by that one chick, it was, like I said in my other videos, it was on my birthday and my sister was taking pictures of me and it was so blatantly obvious that she was taking photos of me. Like I said, I was holding my cake. I was up against my like back door in my house and the camera was not even in their sight because my sister was holding it like this with her back and they were behind her back. So in no world do you ever think someone's taking a picture of you. And the last thing to address is multiple other people have seen this, so I'm not schizo. It's crazy to me that people like jump to those kinds of conclusions on the internet and that we're bringing up therapists and things like that, because this is exactly why people don't get help when they need it. Not cool. But yeah, that's my update. Let's get ready to confront my neighbors. I'm just kidding, but that's what like my whole comment section was saying I should do, and I have multiple reasons why we will not be doing that. Number 1 is I already know that they're going to just gaslight me. If I went up to them and was like, why are you staring at me all the time? They're just going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm not staring at you. Like, I already know that's what's coming. Let's be real. Number 2 is because I've already been slightly passive aggressive or like have gotten my point across that it bugs me. Like, I've stared back at them and have kind of made gestures of like, what, you know, and that hasn't stopped them. So I don't think confronting them will, because that was already kind of like a moment of confrontation and it didn't work. Third thing is people keep saying, oh, if you're renting, just move out. First of all, I'm in a contract. Second, I did lock this place in at like a really low rate. These are going for way more than what I'm paying. I really don't want to like screw that up and just have to leave and go pay more somewhere else, probably for something that's not even as nice. I'm just glad that I didn't buy one of these places because I actually was actively trying to buy it for like a few years, and I just gotta say, it's not like this is the worst neighborhood ever. I actually really like my neighborhood, other than just what's going on right directly behind me. I'm just glad I don't own one of these places so I don't feel like I'm stuck here, because if it does get bad enough, then I do have the option to move. I am just hoping that something changes and that this will all just go away, but it's been months, so I'm not holding my breath. I also had a random thought come to me when I made that video talking about how like people in Utah are like this. I completely forgot that at my old place, there was a neighbor that literally used to just stand and stare, and like, I swear to you, Utah really just has a staring problem and like is super nosy with their neighbors, because this guy drove me insane. Like, it was probably worse than what's happening right now. Actually, I take that back, because he wasn't like staring into my house at me, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you that story. So this happened years ago, but one of my guy friends took me home one time and I had this flat tire randomly. So he was like, oh, let me just help you change that real quick. So we're changing my flat tire, and the neighbor next door, this guy is just standing, his house is completely dark. He's just standing in the front room of his house staring out at us. And I'm like, dude, you know I live next door and you know this is my car. Like, I don't know why you're staring at us like we're trying to hijack a car or something. So he literally is staring, which I can get past that part. Okay, where he takes it a step further is he literally comes outside eventually. Like, he probably stood in the window for about 30-40 minutes watching us, and we like were having trouble with the tire and everything because we didn't have all the proper stuff that we needed. So finally he comes out. This is the middle of the night too. This is like probably 2 o'clock in the morning. He comes outside and he just stands on the lawn, like probably 20 feet away from us, and just stares as this guy is trying to change my tire, and he's clearly struggling. Does he say one word to us? No. Doesn't say hi, doesn't say, can I help you? Doesn't offer anything. Just stands and stares. And I'm like, dude, we've known each other for years. Like, you know I live here. You know this is my car. We're not doing anything sketchy. Why are you just standing here staring at us and like not even offering help? Which I will say, that's not very Utah of him. Usually people in Utah are like very helpful, and if you're stranded or something, they're gonna help you. But he just stopped and stared for the longest time. We were out there for probably like at least an hour and a half, and he just kept staring. But yeah, anyway, that just was a random thought that was triggered because of all of this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think Utah has a serious problem. And that wasn't even in this same city. This was a completely different area. So the fact this has happened to me twice now, it's feeling like the culture a little bit. And just when I thought she wasn't going to come out during my video and I was going to get through one, the middle one came out. Oh my gosh, I do have an update though. So last night, my neighbors next door, I caught them staring into their house, which I've never seen that before. Her and her husband were literally like trying to stare into their windows, and I was in the middle so I could see, and I thought I heard something. So I go look, they're staring at the neighbors next door, which they were being kind of loud, but like still, it's just weird that you would feel comfortable staring into their house. It's not like it was like so loud that it was a problem where you needed to like go confront them or something. Then I would understand where you're like maybe trying to check it out, but they were just straight up trying to stare into their house. It's really weird. She didn't like come all the way outside. She's just standing in the back window staring out. Like, I just don't understand the point of that. Like, if you're gonna be like that, I don't know, at least come outside and like try to make it less obvious that you're trying to stare at people. It's like she wants you to know, because it's just so like blatantly obvious that you're staring out and into someone's house from the inside of your home. I don't know. Really weird. That's it for this update, but I'll keep you guys updated if anything else happens. Also, don't sleep with your hair wet. I look like a troll doll. Bye.
Y'all, quick little story time on how I found out the guy that I was seeing next door had a wife. Y'all, so back in 2022, I had moved in a new house, and this guy, older man, he stayed next door to me. And when I moved in, I always saw that he was like looking at me and stuff, and always like had his eyes on me or whatever every time I came home. And y'all, when I say this man literally looked at me every time he seen me outside, he looked at me, he waved, and finally, one day, I want to say maybe 3 weeks in of me staying in my new home, he seen me outside. So he finally came over. I think he was just getting home, and he came over and he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is such and such. I'm your neighbor. You know, if you ever need me, I'm here. If you ever go out of town," basically he'll be the watch or whatever. And I got that vibe from him as if like he was, interested in me. So I, introduced myself or whatever, and he brought some donuts over. He was like, "I seen you had kids and I wanted to give you some donuts, and if you want, you could take a few or you could take the whole box or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just take a few or whatever." But he ended up giving me the whole box. But for some odd reason, I just felt like he intentionally brought the donuts to us or whatever because he wanted to greet us or whatever. Okay, cool. So that ended up happening, y'all. And then remind y'all, I've never seen a woman over there. I've never seen nobody over there from the times that I go outside or, or just driving around the community or leaving or whatever. I've never seen a woman over there. So that same day I left and I have to drive past his house, but somebody was like walking across the street. So I had to stop in the middle of the street next to his house, and he was standing right there in his car. He was just getting home or whatever. And he was like, "Hey, I'm your neighbor. Once again, my name is such and such." And I was like, "Okay, bye." That was the same day. And then so maybe a couple of weeks pass by and I'm outside, I'm pulling the trash out, and he comes outside. He waved at me and then he asked me, what is that right there?" As y'all can see, I have a tattoo, but the shirt that I was wearing, it was like a flannel, but it was buttoned up and it kind of had like this part open. And I was like, "Oh, what exactly?" And he was like, "Right here." I was like, "Oh, it's my tattoo. It says Faith." And that was the day that I should have just said no. Y'all, that day I was looking bummy as fuck. Like, I literally had on a flannel and some house shoes and some, tights or whatever. But my whole body was basically covered except for this part. And so we got on a conversation about my tattoo. Then he asked me, "Am I seeing someone?" And I told him no. And in the conversation, and then, y'all, this man asked me out. He asked me out on a date. So I asked him, "Are you seeing anyone?" And he was just like, "No, I'm just here. I have a sister that stays here with me, but she's never really home or whatever, but it's just me and her." I was like, "Oh, okay." So he asked me out on a date and we ended up dating. We started dating. We probably dated for about a good two months. And he would literally, y'all, he would bring me flowers and roses. He would give me money. He would take me out on dates, bring me like lunch and stuff, or give me money to go get lunch, coffee, or whatever. Like, he was like a real life little sugar daddy. Y'all, and before y'all come on here trying to bash me, this man did not have a ring on his finger. He didn't appear to be married, and it didn't appear to be another woman staying there besides from what he told me. And I never had seen her until the day that I found out he was married. Y'all, this man, literally, when I say he kept flowers on my table, every time they go old, he would bring me and buy me some more. Okay. He would, every time on a weekend, he'll ask me, "What am I doing?" He'll take me out to eat. He'll take me to a movie. He'll take me to go get drinks. We'll go to the casinos and we'll watch, like the bets, or we'll go to like what is that thing called at the casinos? Like where they go to bet on horses and stuff. We'll go and we'll sit there and we'll watch the games and stuff. Yeah. He would talk literally from the time that he got off work up until it was damn near time to go to bed for me. Usually I'll be in bed by 8 or so, but we literally would have a conversation every day, all day, and it never appeared. I never heard a woman in the background ever. Never seen a woman until the day that I seen her. Right, and then until one day. So y'all, me and this man, we done exchanged words. We done hugged. We done went out on dates. We got to know each other on a more, good level or whatever. We ain't do nothing though. We ain't never did nothing nasty. But it was strictly just dating and him giving me money and him taking me out, stuff like that. So one day, me and him was talking on the phone, and I kind of heard somebody in the background, and it sounded like a woman. But when he was talking to me, it sounded like he was sneaking on the phone. And I heard a woman come in and say, honey, something. I can't remember exactly what she said. And then the phone hung up. So the phone hung up. And bitch, why I call him back? Because I'm like, who the fuck over there? Who is that? And so I called him. He didn't answer. I called him again. He didn't answer. I then text him. It took him literally until the next day to respond back to me. And I was like, oh, you've been sneaking and creeping. So my nosy ass looking outside the window to see if there's any other cars over there. Y'all, I ain't seen no car. I ain't seen nobody pull up. I ain't seen nothing. Okay, but the lights is on. But there was a woman in that house. Okay. And true enough, she may have never been there often, but she was there that night. Y'all, this man done had pictures of me in his phone, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, does this man have a woman? I was like brought back a little bit. I kind of wanted to go knock on that motherfucking door to see who was over there, but something in me told me don't go. Oh, and real quick, y'all, I've never been in the inside of his house. He ain't never been in the inside of my house and none of that. I never even wanted to step foot in his house or whatever. But he made it to me that he was perfectly single. He was single and dating is what the words that he used. So yes, and y'all probably sitting there thinking, damn, y'all was talking for 2 months and you ain't never went over there. No, because I never, if I was going over there, we were going to be doing something, and that wasn't on my agenda. My agenda was taking them funds and going out on dates and living a soft life. Okay. But back on track, y'all, back on track. So, okay, like I said, he did not pick up my call. He did not pick up my text. He didn't do nothing, y'all, until the next morning. I know that usually he'll be going to work around like 8 or whatever, and I take my kids to school around that time frame, a little bit before that time frame, and I usually run into him around that time frame. So then I seen him outside, and Lord, what I witnessed that morning, I said, oh, I would never. And I prayed to God for this, y'all, because I had to really think about it. So that sister that he was telling me about, y'all, it had turned out to be his wife. Y'all, stay tuned for part 2 because, baby, it gets juicy, okay? And by the way, real quick, before y'all get off, go ahead and grab these glasses from the TikTok shop, y'all. They are currently like $1 and some change or whatever, but these are so cute. If y'all like this look this whole time, baby, go ahead and click the link below. But y'all, stay tuned for part 2 because it gets deep.
My neighbors stopped being so helpful and kind after we started sleeping with each other. Story time. I moved into a new apartment sometime last year, and I was so happy about it because I saved up for it and I finally got a better place. Also, a neighbor from my former house had also moved to this house before I got here, so it was like I had a friendly face around. He helped me move in, and while I was setting my apartment, I could spend the night at his place. Shortly after that, I realized that the room I took had a lot of problems. There was no connection. It was even a former factory, so there was always ants in my room. It had a terrible smell that I had to get plenty air fresheners, and they were not even doing the work. While I was experiencing all this, I would sleep at my neighbor's place because he was a good guy and wasn't expecting anything in return. He was just being very nice and very helpful to me. Until one particular day, we kissed, which was a very embarrassing moment for the both of us. And after that, something led to the other. We had sex. We started getting sexually involved. I mean, I've always known that dating your neighbor was going to be bad, but I did not know it was going to be this terrible. We had several days where we would fight, we would be remorseful, we would apologize, and everything was starting to get worse. He became abusive. He turned from the very kind neighbor that I used to know to a very unkind person, very inconsiderate, who never appreciated me, doesn't even check up on me unless I check up on him. Girl, it is not even a relationship. It was so bad that even if I go days without talking to him, he would not hear from me. I could be sick, I could be kidnapped, he wouldn't know. He would rather spend all his days, his time, his money with his friends. And while I'm there with him and his friends, they'll be talking about girls and girls' ass and boobs and all of that shit. He doesn't respect me. He would keep malice with me. I would literally beg him to show me love. I would beg him to touch me or to even let me touch him. but he would refuse. Do you know how little your self-love must be for you to be begging a man to touch you? Your own very own vagina. You're begging a man to sleep with you. Whenever we're having issues and he was mad at me, if I don't cry, he's not going to be happy, because the tears on my face just gave him satisfaction. I will see a smirk on his face. Trust me, he did 100 times more than the things that I'm listing out now. Never showed interest in doing anything with me. Girl, at this point, you're literally just forcing it, because that man doesn't like you. Even a man that doesn't like you, but cares about you or respects you, will still show a little bit of interest. Would even pretend or fake it. Even if he doesn't like you at all. This neighbor of yours doesn't even care about your existence. You're not even his girlfriend. You could be in the same room with him and he would not talk to me for days. Even if I say hi, he's just going to grumbly reply. He will starve me. He would not talk to me. Are you not loved at home? I really wish I could explain how inhumanly he treats me. But now the problem is that I'm not even trying to ask if he loves me or getting clarification if he loves me, because I know he doesn't love me. And I'm not delusional to that extent. I know he hates me. He despises my presence. I'm also not asking for what to do, because I know what to do, but I just can't do it at the moment. I want to move out and start all over again, because this thing messed with me so much that it affected my grades last semester. I've never been treated this poorly in my entire life, because I never gave room for it. My standards have always been high, but with him, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, you're lying to yourself. Your standards have never been high, because standards don't just go low like that just because one bastard is refusing to talk to you or treat you like the queen that you are. I know how to walk away. I've always walked away from terrible situations like this, but in this case, my hands are tied because I don't have money to move out of the house. And I think moving out is the only solution to this problem. Everyone in my wing of the house has moved out because we've been robbed like twice, and robbers actually tore the net of the room. So I am the only one left in the flat. I don't know if this is you sharing a story or if this is a help-seeking story, because there's no help here. Anyway, I need to move out, but I can't seem to afford moving out right now. So how would you advise me to navigate the situation? Avoid your neighbor, find friends in the area, friends in school, and start spending the nights there once in a while and start gathering money. And I hope you're not jobless or without a skill or something for you to be able to afford to feed yourself at least. Anyway, to share your stories with me, send an email to me at talktoperona@gmail.com. And ladies, stop going around fucking your neighbors.
This man pulled up to the side of my car and said to me, "Can I help you? Because you're sitting in front of that house and it looks weird." Sir? What's up, everybody? This is Michelle Lynch with Keller Williams Realty Consultants in Roswell. And I want to tell you all, especially realtors out there, you guys, you know, you see these big, beautiful properties where some of us are dressed to the nines, and we come to you and we showcase all this beautiful real estate. And, you know, it's not all is a bed of roses. Sometimes there is a lot of that we deal with. So this particular occurrence took place when we had a severe storm around, I want to say last August, September, and one of my colleagues, her home in South Carolina was terribly destroyed. So she asked me to fill in for her, and I was showing her $1 million client, right? They had $1 million budget, upwards of $1.5 million budget. And she asked me to go and show them a property in a town I won't even say, because this is, you know, but I need to be aware that things like that do occur. I am in the South. I am in Georgia. Shouldn't matter, but that is pretty much what's going on. Okay, so I'm sitting in my car. For me, early is on time. I get there. I had already expressed to the realtor that I was assisting, listen, I am dressed very casual. She says, don't worry about it. My clients, they're down to earth. I said, okay. So I got there early because early is on time for me, and this Georgia traffic is very unpredictable. I park in front of the house. I did not get out. I did not go around the property. I sat in the car and I'm paying bills. I literally have a notebook, my wallet out, my card in my lap, and my phone, and I'm paying a bill. And the gentleman, calling him a gentleman, we're calling him a gentleman, right? Because we keep it classy. But the gentleman, he backs up, pulls up to my car, like this close, right? I'm thinking it's my colleague's clients because I'd never met them before, right? But no. I roll down my window and I start to smile. He says, "Can I help you? Because you're sitting in front of that house and it looks weird." I said nothing. I just rolled up the window and I proceeded to finish paying my bills. Like, because who are you? And what makes you think if I was doing something mischievous, why you feel so safe to pull up that close to my car? Because y'all, I got that blicky. But I am not, like I said, I'm a diffuser. Anyway, I continue to pay my bills. And shortly after that, her clients show up. So I get out, I use my Supra access, I let them into the home. You know, other neighbors are saying hi, right? And then I get back in the car because as an agent who shows for other agents, I don't even engage with the clients very much. I'm cordial. I make sure it's safe for them to go in. They do whatever they're doing, pictures, measurements, you know, and then I secure the property to make sure that we've left it the way we found it. Now, I'm in the car continuing to pay bills and write notes for myself, and who do I see in my rear view mirror? It's 12. This man went home and called the cops. And so I'm a realtor. Hello, I have my credentials. I get out of the car. Luckily, the officer was a waffle colored, but he was okay. And I said, "Officer, how are you today? I'm a licensed realtor. I'm showing this property to a client of my colleagues." He says, "Oh my God, that is so embarrassing." That could have went a whole nother way. I could have got a different type of officer. I could have been muerto. I could have been injured. So this message is for several people. It's for realtors, and it's for consumers, it's for neighbors. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. You just don't know who you are affecting when you make false accusations. You really don't. And to the realtors, I learned to get a name tag. And so I got a name tag now, and whether I'm dressed like this or I'm dressed in a professional attire, I'm gonna wear that name tag. So at least I feel if he had pulled up on me and I had the name tag, what do y'all think? You think he would have still been, or would he have seen, right, and just gone about his business? I think he still would have done it. You comment below. Tell me what y'all think. All right, this is your girl, Michelle Lynch with Keller Williams Realty Consultants. And y'all stay safe out there. Stay out of people's business. Stay out of people's business, because I could have been a totally different kind of person. And that could have ended up a totally different way, right? For those of you who are going to show houses, make sure you have on your name tag. It is very important in this climate that we are in. And for those of you who are looking to purchase or sell, I would love to earn your business. Let's talk and come up with a strategy to get you either the keys to your new home or that check. See y'all.
I have weird ass neighbors. I have a cougar and her cub that lives near me, and every time they walk by my apartment, I live on the first floor. I'm about to move, by the way, but every time they walk by my apartment, they are inside my apartment. What the fuck you looking at, weirdo? And this is every time they walk by. So today I'm on my way out the house, going to the car, and I see the boyfriend. Now, the boyfriend get on my nerves because he be walking by when he by himself. He be like, looking for attention. And I just be like, So today I'm on my way out. He's standing at the end and he's staring at me. Bitch, anybody that know me, I'm gonna stare back at you. He looking at me, I'm looking at him like, I'm not smiling, cause bitch, I'm not friendly. So finally he goes, so I was like, cause I'm petty. Why the fuck you staring at me? Huh?
Hey y'all, so I just got home from work and I wanted to give y'all a quick update video and also just address a few things because I did not expect that video to blow up as big as it did. And since it is going viral and like there's a lot of comments, and of course I can't respond to everybody even though I have tried, I just wanted to address a few things that I seen, like questions that y'all may have or whatever, and like what's the update between me and my neighbor. Okay, so quick backstory. I'm 29. This is my first time ever renting an apartment. I got this apartment when I was 27 years old. I was a late bloomer. I didn't know much about just moving on my own. So this was my first apartment. I was, you know, really excited to have it, whatever. So the first year I didn't have any problems at all. There's only one kid to my knowledge one small child, I should say, to my knowledge, that was in my building like since I've lived here, and I love him. Like I call him my little neighbor. I love him. He's so sweet, y'all. He's the cutest little kid ever. And then I never really hear him. Like I see him for like 2 seconds, but I never hear him like making any noise or anything. And I think some of y'all is confused because y'all like, oh, kids will be kids. You can expect kids not to make noise. I never said that. I don't expect my upstairs neighbor not to ever make any noise. My whole problem is when it gets to be excessive. If I cannot come home, y'all, after a hard day of work, mind you, I work in IT. I'm on the phone all day. I'm helping people. I have a very taxing job that's mentally taxing. When I come home from work, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I want to have peace where I live. Work, I want to have peace. And that's not to say that people won't be making noise. That's not to say that kids can't play, because again, kids are going to be kids. But y'all have to realize when it gets to be excessive to where every day, because my neighbor found me on TikTok from this TikTok video. She actually came across my For You page and was like, hey girl, it's getting so bad that I was going to say the same thing. And like, I'm actually going to, well, I'm going to do a YouTube video about it, but if I can insert it on here, I'm going to do a whole full story time of like how the whole altercation happened. Because y'all have to also remember, TikTok is, you know, you have limited time to tell everything. So you're basically just getting a condensed version. Like I said, I'm not mean to kids. Kids will be kids, of course. But when I'm getting home from work every day, and it's boom, 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 you can hear kids running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When it's getting to be 9 and 10 o'clock at night, and that shit is still going on, that's going to be a problem. Imagine if it was you. I feel like people don't care until it's them. So all y'all in the comments talking about, oh, just buy a house. Are you going to give me money for one? Are you? Hello, let's not all speak at once. And I don't like that, because I feel like everybody in the comments talking about, oh, well, if you don't want to hear noise, don't live in an apartment. Do y'all not know what the housing market looks like right now? Do y'all not know that houses are high as shit? Are y'all gonna let me put up a GoFundMe for y'all to give me money for a down payment on a house? Like, y'all sound crazy. And then for everybody talking about, oh, you never approached someone's child, why didn't you go find the parent? If y'all was using your thinking cap, like, okay, like they taught us in first grade, if y'all was listening, using y'all active listening skills, I know TikTok got a lot of y'all brains fried. Y'all would have heard the part where I said that the kids were unattended in the hallway by themselves. And like I said, to my knowledge, there's only one kid, one small child that lives in the front unit, the front of my building. And the other kids are upstairs. These kids are kids that I have never seen before. Okay, so these are kids that do not live here. I know they don't live here. I know everybody who lives in this building. They don't live here. So I'm seeing some kids that I've never seen before, and they're out there by themselves jumping off of the stairs. And then what other little kid that they was with, he ran into the basement. And that's my whole thing. Like, do y'all not know that kids get snatched up? Like, what if I was crazy? What if I was to kidnap them, take them into my apartment? Like, that's not safe. So you got kids unattended on a Saturday night just in the hallway by themselves. Okay, that's not safe. So for all y'all talking about, oh, why you didn't find a parent? Like, what? What are y'all talking about? And then also, I don't know how old a lot of y'all are, but when we was kids, people was allowed to say stuff to us respectfully. And you were gonna listen. You were taught to respect adults. That's the problem with y'all now. Y'all raise y'all kids to not respect adults. And that's a problem for me. But as far as like the update with my neighbor, I seen him outside yesterday. Of course, didn't speak. He better not ever say nothing else to me. Okay. I didn't speak to his girlfriend either. This new management company, they don't care. So I'm going to continue to get the police involved and make a paper trail. They stay out of my way. I'm going to stay out of theirs. I'm not a very confrontational person. I don't do that type of stuff. But as far as right now, nothing is being done. They're not taking my complaints seriously. You call them, they don't answer the phone. You email them, they don't answer the phone. My lease is up in December, and I will be looking for somewhere else to stay, preferably a community that does not have kids, or just somewhere where I can be away from kids. But yeah, that's the update for right now. I am gonna make a full YouTube video, story time, as to like the whole altercation, because I gave y'all a condensed version on here, but I'm gonna make a full story time of what happened. So go follow me on YouTube at It's Tabby Baby. And yeah, and be nice in them comments, because I will clap back. I'm not the one or the two. I'm not Keith Lee or none of them. I'm not famous. I do have time.
Okay, so let me tell y'all a quick story time real quick. So as y'all know, I have my little speech there or whatever. I go run my errands in the burbs, and then I come back home to the city. Now, if you are from Chicago, you know that 9 times out of 10, when you get up out of a parking spot, it's gonna be gone. If you're lucky and it's early in the day and everybody's at work, then you might get your spot back. But I pull up to my house. This girl walk up on me while I'm getting my shit out the car, talking about somebody's parking right here. So I'm looking around like, maybe she's delusional. Maybe she thinks that, I don't know what she thinking, but so I look at her and I get back in my car to get the rest of my stuff out, my book bag and my purse. So then I get up, I close my door. She like, so you not finna move your car? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she like, well, they mama be parking right here. She's gonna be real mad if you don't move. And I'm like, okay. So I start walking. Then the guy like, yeah, you must want to get fired up. You must trying to get your car fired up. I ain't never heard no Chicago boy or girl say fired up, so I don't know exactly what that means. However, I'ma take it for what I think you mean. And y'all motherfucking asses in some trouble. So then I'm walking, I'm ignoring what they saying, because like, they were kids. They weren't kids. They probably was like 19. I mean, I'm 22, so like a 19-year-old is kind of like a kid to me. A 20-year-old kind of like a kid to me, But the bitch got a baby. So you old enough. But I'm ignoring the bitch. I'm walking. Here go the bitch. You could park anywhere else, but you want to park right here. Then she like, bitch, you don't even live. Oh, bitch. Hold on. I had hella shit in my hand. Like, my mind is telling me, turn around and fuck this bitch up. Turn around and fuck this bitch up. Make a bitch you. You know what? Had a good day today. I done gave my speech today. I'm not worried about no bitch next door to me. Like, hello. Like, that's what I really do not like about city people. Y'all be getting into it with a motherfucking neighbor. A bitch you live right next to telling your neighbor you're gonna shoot up their car. Baby, you don't do that. I'm from the suburb. But, however, when I was born is when my parents decided to be fake suburban. That's why I'm from there. But I have siblings who are not. Siblings that'll paint the whole motherfucking city red about me. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to go over there and wait for the mama and talk to the mama, because these kids, you don't just let them say any old thing. You know what I'm saying? She probably thought I was a kid. In person, I am really small. But even then, you don't get disrespectful with nobody, no matter how old they is. Because I could have just turned around and beat the fuck out this little girl. Then guess who get locked up? Me. That's why I chose to ignore her. But that is growth. OMG. Y'all just don't know how much that is. Because that's a bitch on the street. A bitch on the street calling you a bitch? Bitch, show me. You know, like, but that ain't where my mind go. That's why I know I'm not crazy no more. But y'all was sitting back talking about I was crazy. Not no more. And another thing, just because a Suburban got fast thumbs to call 911, don't mean they ain't got no fast hands. Okay, so let me tell y'all what had ended up happening. Okay, so boom. When I get back in the house, I tell my sister what just happened. Well, we was on the phone at first, and then I get in here, I tell her what's happening, right? So as I'm telling her, I'm pulling my, because I had a gown on. Like, not a gown, but like a romper. Because mind y'all, I had a speech. I had to dress nice, and that's what I was doing. So, anyway, come in the house, I'm taking that down. My sister telling me, change your clothes. So then, she get her bag. I'm laughing because I know what she keep in that bag. She going down there with a bag because she was too mad. Like I told y'all, my sister and my siblings, they do not play about little me. So she go down there, and like my room window is right here. I'm already hearing her talking down the street like, yeah, what a bitch want to do. Like, you know, she wasn't saying all that, but like she was, you know, yo, what up? That's what she was doing. So now I'm not even gonna lie. Once my sister go out there, like I'm scared because like my sister the type, she air it out, she shooting anybody, including me. So like I was a little scared, okay? And she had told me stay in the house. Anyway, she come back up here, and she said she went down there and said something like, telling somebody that you would shoot them with your mama sleep your head at night is crazy. And they all went inside the house after that. So she come back up in here. Nothing. I've been in the house this whole time doing my homework. Now all of a sudden it's like music. That's them out there. It's like it's hella them. So in my mind I'm thinking they must be fucking waiting on me. But let me tell y'all what the gag is. The gag is my sister's boyfriend knows them. Not only that, they're fucking broke. Because he be like selling them little shit, you know what I mean? Not to even talk about somebody, because I'm broke too, but like not like I ain't doing all that, you know. I will admit it. So anyway, he telling them, y'all need to watch who the y'all talking to, because y'all don't know who y'all talking to, you know what I'm saying? How about the two boys that was standing there saying I want to get shot, and the girl, none of them live over there. Dude mother lives over there. And basically when my sister boyfriend had approached him, he was like, nah bro, that wasn't me, that was my big brother. So then he was like, go get your big brother. So then he bring him out, and then the big brother like, no, that wasn't me, I ain't even say nothing, that was my girl. Yo girl. The bitches be crazy. I don't know, the bitches be crazy. Because like I told y'all, as I'm walking, she's saying, bitch, you don't even live around here. Like, bitch, you don't see me unlocking the gate with a key? Like, hello? Not only that, the bitch was walking behind me, hollering. But I had hella shit in my hand. Shit that if I drop and it got stolen, like, it's just gone. It's done. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, like, this is a little bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she don't know me. So, my first thing was to turn around and hit this girl. But I'm trying to change y'all, so I did not do none of that. So then, fast forward, I went down there because I had to go get something to eat. Y'all know I'm not missing out on no meal. I don't give a fuck if it was a motherfucking parade out there. So I go out there, I go to my car. Everybody is dead silent as soon as I walk up, and it's hella than like more people than it was the first time. And they're silent. I get in my car, I leave to go get something to eat. Come back, there's a car right there, but it ain't the same car. Like, this is a car that I ain't never seen, so I knew it wasn't one of them. So I'm just like, whatever, cool. Because like I said, we live in the city. You get in a parking spot, you leave, you think that parking spot got your motherfucking name on it, but you gonna get, that's what you're gonna get. Fucking smacked by the person that you think you finna move up out this parking spot. Luckily for her, she was dealing with somebody like me who's not just finna put their hands on somebody. And I should have watched that bitch coming, because who the fuck is a bitch? Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are fighting words. But for the sake of the luxurious thing that I had in my hand, and the fact that I was tired, and I had a whole speech, like I was in a good mood, little bitch. Like, she had me so fucked up. But to sum it all up, everything's taken care of. My sister, she do not play that, and I love her so bad. Now, the rock in the sock, some of y'all saying don't take that out there. The dog, she chewed a hole in the sock. But yeah, my sister she's just like a deadly weapon. And that's low-key why I was not thinking, I'm like, my sister fit to flojo this hoe. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't even gotta use no weapons. Girl, she got these. She got them. Like I told y'all before, I ain't scared of nobody on the world besides my sister. And she ended up taking a shower with that hot ass motherfucking water from hell. So yes, that's the story. That's it. That's that. And as of now and until we move up out of here, we will be parking in that spot, and that's just that. See, remember how I told y'all yesterday or 2 days ago? That girl was talking that tough stuff to me, and her boyfriend was talking about how he'd pull a gun out on me. Y'all hear that commotion? She just got beat the fuck up. And so did her boyfriend by telling somebody he was gonna pull out a gun on him. Mama came, well not my mama, but the girl mama that he said that to came, wore that ass out. Sucking what? He talking about 101, we don't got a gun. So again, watch what you say to people because you don't know who they know or what they got. That's all I gotta say. I gotta get away from the window and finish eating my gumbo. So y'all, that same boy is outside calling my downstairs neighbor a faggot. They just don't get enough. And today, the bitch, the girl who was hollering at me the other day, she was out there, y'all. And why was she saying wearing the same exact thing from how many days ago that was? Like 3 or 4 now. And I forgot to tell y'all she was 14 years old. It's a lot I need to tell y'all. Let me sit down. First. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing for real because if I was pregnant and I found out, I would be in shambles right now. But basically, this is what was going on yesterday. So I was having like a family get together in my house. Music was playing and everything. I came in my room to eat. That is when I heard commotion. So then I went to go tell my mom, and my mom is so nosy for no reason. She went down there and said, I gotta go get something from my car. So I go down with her and we watching. Unexpected, because like they were arguing back and forth. Like it wasn't giving fight vibes. It was giving they want to fight, but not yet. You know what I'm saying? My phone was upstairs, y'all. It was upstairs. So for the bitches in the back talking about black car revoked, no, I watched with my own 2 eyes. But not only that, they kept on saying that somebody had a gun. Somebody who told me that he was trying to shoot me and shoot my car up. He the same somebody that told my sister boyfriend that he ain't got no gun. So again, my mom was just down there watching because she knew what it was. She knew he ain't had no gun. Now I knew too, but I didn't know if the other people had one or not. So that's why I said let me get out the window, because sometimes I be having a dog. Like my neighbors are crazy for real. Like it's a baby mama and a baby daddy over there, and y'all, if y'all seen that video on my page when he was shooting at her. These people are insane. That's why I have to get out of Chicago, because this is not my cup of tea. So y'all, if they fight, I might record it for y'all. I don't know, because this is my thing. Yes, I do live in the city, but I don't come outside. Like I probably been living here longer than some of these people in this building. And when they see me on the block, they be looking, they like, who is you? You new over here? No, baby, you are. But I be in the house so much. It's just like, for me to go out there and start recording people that I don't even know. Not only that, the bitch who was hollering down the street, she not my neighbor. She's like the apartments next to my actual neighbors. Like I live in an apartment building, and then there's like separate apartment buildings like going down the block. So she live on my block. Well, she don't even live here. Or the nigga that's threatening people with guns. Neither one of them. His mama live over here. And his mama is completely oblivious to everything. Because his mama was out there literally just looking stupid the whole time. But no, the girl mama was saying like, y'all got the video of that? Somebody send me the video. I should have been out there like, let me see the video. My mama out there talking about, send me the video. Girl, get in this house. But yes, that's the only reason why I don't be posting stuff on TikTok. Is because of like personal reason. And then I keep getting like shadow banned for doing stuff like that or saying too much. Not shadow banned, but they're taking my videos down. If I'm cussing too much, they're taking them down. That's why I have not been on here, because they've been playing in my face. Low key though, I should move it to YouTube, because YouTube is kind of messy. I can add receipts on there, but that's why I don't tell story times when they're happening, because I'd rather not post a video of my neighbors are outside my house and I still live here. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, last year it was this little girl who lived in my building. She used to be under my TikTok all the time, like, oh my gosh, you live in my building, blah blah blah. Little girl, I used to DM this girl. Little girl, stop saying that. Stop doing that. Because like little kids, they just be so, they just be so excited. And somebody could literally act like they another little girl, tell that little girl, do she want to meet up? Then boom, now they got the drop on me. Little girl. Anyway, back to the main point. I'm gonna let y'all know. I really don't know. That's kind of messy. Maybe if y'all go on my Snapchat. I don't know, because it's still putting a video outside my house. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't rich, and I don't got no security. So I don't know. The only security thing I got is my security uniform, baby. Okay, so y'all, I know I was supposed to be keeping y'all posted, but stuff was getting too out of hand. But let me tell y'all what happened yesterday. So y'all remember how I told y'all a couple days ago the neighbor attacked my sister from behind? I came out there, he fought us, swung us to the ground or whatever, right? Why? He had a friend with him this whole time. And I guess his friend said something to him that made him come over here doing all that. And then afterward, his friend said stuff like, oh, that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm not into it with y'all. But his friend also be around the neighborhood starting stuff with other people, but like putting bugs in people's ear and stuff, and also saying things like how he gonna be cool with people, but he really trying to like set them up and like backdoor them. So since all this started happening, like after the fight and everything, that boy has been missing in action. Not only him, but the homeboy too, who was trying to fight me and my sister. Why yesterday my sister is walking the dog, y'all. She come out, she see him outside, she tell him to come here. Y'all, why did my sister smack fire from him? Like, it was literally so freaking funny. And then the neighbor was like, I heard that smack from a mile away. Like, y'all, I could not believe it. I was so like, what? But y'all know how my sister is already. So she smacks him in his face, right? Smacked the mess out of his face. Like, she literally smacked the taste out of him. Like, he got up, he probably be like, did I get gone about 2 weeks? Like, she smacked the dogs up out of him. So after that, he gets up like, did you just smack me? So then he go for his pants, and then he ain't have nothing in his pants. And then he said, you know what? Just wait. So then he walks off. Then he go into his house, and then he run to the guy who tried to fight us. He run in his house. Run in his house. So then my sister come in the house, and she with her friend. And then all of a sudden he texts her and saying, why you run? My sister texts him like, you want me to come back outside? Then he blocks her like the scary Jerry bitch he is. Then he texting my sister friend. Now my sister friend, she is not a fighter whatsoever. He texts her saying like, oh, since she put her hands on me, I got some for you. Y'all, my sister, mind y'all, her friend is not a fighter at all. She went out there by herself over to their house. So now me and my sister go down there, right? And after we come and he run in the house. Then like when the friend get like to the middle of the street, like crossing the street, like coming back to our place, he come back outside again and he got a phone. And my sister friend was like, I know that ain't you outside again. Like, y'all, it was so freaking funny. But it wasn't funny because like she was upset. But like she was cussing us up and she don't even cuss. Like, it was so funny. My sister went out there with what she went out there with. Her friend had a mace and a lock. I couldn't find my mace, mind y'all. My sister hollering at me, why you always losing stuff? You need to keep up with your stuff. Girl, I lost it in the middle of that motherfucking fight. So, mind y'all know what I do. I go out there with a knife. Amen? Somebody say amen. Because that's just what I do. I just feel safer that way. And I had lost my taser too. So that is what happened. I really don't know what's going to happen next. And I'm kind of sort of scared. And I kind of didn't want to even like be on the internet about this because like ain't nothing happened. Like every day is something new. Because y'all know like my neighbors is really messy. Yes, I live in Chicago, but the main problem on my block is not shooting or anything. Nobody has been killed on this block since I've been living here, and I've been living here for 3 years now. The problem is always the neighbors. Like my neighbor got into it with one neighbor, somebody from my side getting across the street, getting into it with somebody across the street, and it's always just us. It's never us and somebody down the block. It's just where my apartment is and down, like to the end of the block. Like it's just so much. But I don't know, I'm gonna keep y'all posted because I'm kind of sort of scared because my boyfriend, after that happened, he went down there. Mind y'all, I didn't even know he was going to go down there to say anything to anybody. I thought that he was going to go run and get us something to eat. No, he went down there. I'm like, boo, you have to relax. Because honestly, I don't know if I'm expecting or not. You gonna have to be here and be a daddy. You can't be going down there doing crazy stuff. But yes, that's what happened. If anything else happened, I guess I should make a story time, but it's like, I want to wait. I don't know. That's what I was going to do, make a story time. But it's like, this is happening now. And it's like, it's just crazy. Because if I disappear off of here again, I want y'all to probably know why. Not because nobody did nothing to me, but like, I got to be low key, I guess, because they were saying stuff like, I mean, they see me come from school every day. And then like, I'd be coming from a party or wherever I'm coming from, they always outside. And not only that, they're trying to get people involved who had nothing to do with nothing. I jumped in the fight that you attacked my sister on. So if anybody want to be doing anything to me, I'm just letting y'all know. So if I come up on here with some bruises and some cuts, it's because I probably didn't got into another fight. So I'm just letting y'all know, keeping y'all posted. I will talk to y'all later. Unless you want to say any words on why you smacked that boy in his face like that.
No. It's not my business. If y'all got a neighbor Leave them alone. Don't sleep with them. Please don't sleep with your neighbors. I got a story for your ass. Now, please keep in mind, I was in my 20s, okay? So, this dude took full advantage. He knew what the fuck was up, and he knew what he was doing. I moved into this apartment complex, and it was like 4 apartments on the bottom, 4 in the middle, 4 on the top, whatever. I stayed across from this white girl, and he stayed across from her. And then there was like another couple who stayed across, like directly from me. Anyway, tell me why, when he moved in, I didn't see anybody coming over to his house. So I didn't think he had a girlfriend or anything like that. We ended up seeing each other. This man had me coming over to his house in lingerie, baby, in my fucking finest, baby, across the hall, dancing for his ass. Like, it was so fucking tragic. Like, we had a little situationship for a good, I want to say like 5 months, right? Then one day, the white girl that's across the hall from me was like, you want to go out? You know, like, I always see you coming and going. So we started talking and shit. Bitch, why the fuck did she tell me one day? She was like, I got something to tell you. Can you keep a secret? I'm like, yeah, what's up?
She's like, I've been doing the neighbor.
What? Wait, what? What? You been what? Which one? Oh, the one from you, across from you? So have I. The fuck is wrong with us? Like, oh my God. So this nigga was preying on the both of us. Literally. We were like young 20s. He was like close to 40s. And it literally had a whole fucking girlfriend. This is where the shit really got fucking tough. He had a whole fucking girlfriend. Like, they were together for like 6-7 years. And one day, she just happened to fucking come over to the house. And we were like, who the fuck is... And put 2 and 2 together. And when I asked him about it, he was like, nah, it's just a friend. Honey, come to find out, one day she came over to the house. He wasn't there. She pulled up. She was looking for his ass. He hadn't pulled up to the house yet. She saw us. She asked questions. I don't know if she found something in his phone or what the fuck. But she found out that day. She fucking found out. Lo and behold, he ended up moving before his lease was over. Because he created a whole fucking mess for himself. Don't sleep with your neighbors. Don't do it.
Welcome to the edition of Neighborhood Wars. In my apartment complex, you have Neighborhood Wars, like on the A&E show. If you've never seen it, go watch it. It's completely fucking ridiculous. Crazy. So, I was the first person to move into the... So we're actively looking for a new place to live immediately, ASAP. I mean, stat. But anyways, so the unhinged things that my neighbors have done so far since they moved in 4 months ago. So, they don't have jobs. They are at home all the time. And then they leave randomly throughout the night and come back whenever they please. When they do, they stop up the stairs, they slam doors, they're drinking, and they get into physical fights. Well, I will tell you right now, the wall behind me in my kitchen is paper thin. I can hear every word they're saying. Let's just say I know more about her personal business than she does, probably. I know more personal business than I should, and that is a big no-no. But anyways, I have kids. They go to bed. They have school. My little one is in summer school right now just to keep him busy. And I have an infant. I have a baby who's 8 months old who has to be in his room and get quiet time and not be woken up by a bunch of elephants. Yes, I said elephants. Fighting, okay? The guy is probably 6'4", and the girl is probably 5'11". Both of them humongous people getting into physical fucking fights right there, and I can hear everything, okay? Most of the time it's about him cheating, she hates him, and you can hear them start to scuffle and start hitting each other, and all you hear is boom, 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 boom. Well, you would think, like, you know, I can let this go. Okay. You know, once or twice I let it go. 3 times, 3 strikes, you're out. I got up and I opened the door and I screamed as loud as I could. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you guys can't get along, then break the fuck up. Leave. I was here first. I have kids. I'm sick of listening to your shit every single night. So, I've already thought to myself, I'm going to make like the chronicles of like neighborhood wars. We have videotaped a lot of stuff. So, it started with the banging, started with the yelling over there, and then I yelled back and told them to shut up. Then, they proceeded to step in dog shit and smear it up the steps and smear it all over the floor right outside our door. And I have kids. Remember that. Keep that in mind. I have kids. Dog shit on the floor. Kids. Dog shit can be fatal to children if picked up and put in their mouth. Even bacterial particles that come from dog shit. So what do? Like a good neighbor, I go out there, I dump chlorine all over the floor, a bunch of Comet, and I start scrubbing. Scrub, scrub, scrub. I get rubber gloves out with rubber spikes on them. I clean. I sweep it all into a nice, neat little pile. What does she do? The next morning, she comes outside with the broom and sweeps it all at my door. She flings it at my door. Okay. Flings it. So that was like capped out. You capped me out right there. Then, so me and my boyfriend, we've already went off on them, okay? We've yelled at them multiple times. Then I proceeded to write a letter. Hold, please. Here's the letter. I put it on our door on a magnet outside. For reference, I have a ton of pictures, like really adorable pictures of me and my boyfriend, my baby, my kids, like plastered all over the door with magnets just to piss her off because she's made comments about my kids, like you and your kids can get it type of shit. Yeah, she's that kind of like white trash bitch. Let me read this for you, okay? You are now under surveillance. You are on camera, so get it the fuck together. Any damage, dog shit, nasty shit, bullshit thrown at my door will be reviewed, and the cops will be called. We have a new baby in the house. Smearing dog shit everywhere is pure white trash, and I cleaned it up. And after I cleaned it up, you flung it at my door. Quit your petty bullshit. Quit fighting. If you have issues with your boyfriend, don't bring it here. Take it elsewhere. If you guys want to get in physical fights, go somewhere else and do that. Don't like it? Move out. Thanks. No thanks. Amy and Marty. So after the dog shit incident, after the constant fighting, after the constant screaming, anytime they come home from wherever it is the fuck they're coming home from, pretty much the bar because all they do is drink, they'll sit in their car. The girl will sit in her car if I'm outside because she's definitely afraid of me. And I'm not sorry. She'll call her boyfriend from upstairs and he will come downstairs and escort her back up the steps. They will do anything to avoid me and my boyfriend on the steps at all costs. They will avoid us no matter what. If they hear my door open, if they hear us out in the hallway, because we always make sure to laugh and joke and be like, ha 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 ha. So they know we're out in the hallway. Now, am I petty? Yes. Yes, I am. Hello, my name is Petty. And you know why I'm like this? Because I've dealt with shit like this for way too long and I'm done getting walked on. When my kids are getting woken up in the middle of the night, okay, I have kids. I have a almost 17-year-old all the way down to an 8-month-old. And they're getting woken up in the middle of the night by the elephants fighting and screaming over there. And I'm screaming through the freaking wall. And the bitch says, come to my door and bite me. No, I'm not that petty, and I'm not that trashy either. I'm not about to catch an assault charge, okay? But here's my worst fear, okay? So after everything that's been done, after all the nasty shit they've done, they'll literally sit in our car and honk their horns because they know it makes my dog go crazy. They'll sit there and go back and forth going beep, 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 beep with their literal car horns. So you know what we did just to be petty? We have 3 cars here. We took all 3 cars and set the alarms off. We kept doing it. And guess what? They haven't done it since then. No, nay. So they're avoiding us. Okay, so the other night we got into the yelling match. I told her how I felt. I said everything that I said. She brought my badge into it, and I'm not really sure what my badge has anything to do with her and her boyfriend over there screaming and fighting and hitting each other and doing God knows what else. But she brought my badge into it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, you can bring anything you want into it, but bring my female Polly Pocket into it. Bitch, you stepped over the line. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't piss me off that bad. But when she brought my kids into it, I was like, you know what? You're lucky. You're lucky that I'm a mom, and you're lucky that I'm classier than you. Because if I was old Amy would have already. But I'm not that girl. But stay tuned. I'm gonna make a video of all the crazy shit that we recorded at telephony.
So when I was in the 10th grade, I used to take the bus to school because I wasn't able to drive at the time. So I would get off the bus and I would walk to my house. So I noticed as I was walking home, there was this man, which was my neighbor, that would always be outside, which I mean, I didn't think too much of it because it's his house. But then I started to realize it was a regular thing. So every day for like a week or so, I realized he would always come outside, but he would come outside when I would come down the street. That's what the weird thing was. So anyway, so I thought about it and I said, maybe I should tell my mom. So I told my mom and my mom was like, okay, let me figure out, out, you know, what's going on. So she told me to text her every time I was coming down the street, and she would stand outside the house to see if he was out there, and sure enough, he would be outside. So my mom said, this man is stalking you. So this is when it got creepy. So when my neighbor would be outside watching me, he wouldn't speak or anything, he would just stare. And this was like a 45-year-old man, and he was ex-military, so I was kind of like, you know, maybe he's just off, or it's like PTSD or something. But I said, nah, nobody just stalks somebody like that. So my mom would come out basically when maybe I should tell my mom. So I told my mom, and my mom was like, okay, let me figure out, you know, what's going on. So she told me to text her every time I was coming down the street, and she would stand outside the house to see if he was out there, and sure enough, he would be outside. So my mom said, this man is stalking you. So this is when it got creepy. So it would be every day, and I was one of those people where, you know, I didn't really try to talk to people. I would just, you know, go where I was going or whatever. So this guy would always stare at me or whatever. So it was really so when my neighbor would be outside watching me, he wouldn't speak or anything. He would just stare. And this was like a 45-year-old man, and he was ex-military. So I was kind of like, you know, maybe he's just off, or it's like PTSD or something. But I said, nah, nobody just stalks somebody like that. So my mom would come out basically when I would come out down the street every day, and then eventually like he kind of picked up, you know, my mom was picking up, he was stalking me, so he kind of stopped. But then, damn, every time I would check the mail, he would do the same thing. So my driveway has like a little hill to it, so when I would come down the hill, when I would look to the right, which is where he stayed, like a little hill to it. So when I would come down the hill, when I would look to the right, which is where he stays on the right side of my house, he wouldn't be there. But by the time I go get my mail and I close it, there he would be standing there just staring at me again. So I'm just looking at him like, okay, like this is getting out of control now at this point. Like it was becoming a normal thing, and it's just not normal to have a neighbor stalk you. Mind y'all, I'm 15 years old, maybe 16. So I started changing the time I would go get the mail, because I would check my mail at about 5:30 every day. And I guess, you know, he started realizing my schedule from my 5:30 checking the mail to my 3 p.m. when I got off the bus. So he finally stopped when I kind of changed my schedule around, but then it would be even different. So now he would just sit outside like all day and just wait on me to come outside, and would just watch and watch and watch. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is up with this man, yo? So one night I was sleeping and I heard a loud boom, and I just thought somebody hit something outside or something fell in my house. And I woke up and I was like, well, I don't see anything, and I went back to bed. So when I woke up the next morning to go to work, and I went to press the garage door opener, my garage wouldn't open. And I was like, well, that's strange, because it was working yesterday. So when I'm in my garage, I just hear somebody like, hey. So I'm like, who the hell is that? He's like, oh, it's your neighbor Dwight. I ran into your garage door last night on accident. I thought this was my house. We live beside each other. My house looks nothing like this. So I'm like, okay, this man is either drunk, crazy, or something's wrong with him, because how the hell did you hit my house garage? What the fuck? So he's like, can I come in and fix it? So I'm like, no, you have to wait. So I go upstairs and I tell my mother. My mom comes downstairs. I'm already late to work because of this. So he gets it open and he fixes it. My mom is pissed. So I don't know what they said. But later on that day when I came home, I'm backing in the driveway. And this was around the time when I first got my license, but I knew how to drive because I had a backup camera. And his nosy ass, I guess, was just trying to help. But mind y'all, he's a fucking creep. So when I'm backing in, he's like walking into my driveway and he's like this, like, I got my eyes on you. So I'm like, what the hell? So I like hurry up and close my garage and I run upstairs and I tell my mom, and my mom just like, just ignore that man. Like, you know, he not right. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go take a shower, get out of my work clothes, and I'm sitting here in my bed, and behind my bed, there's a window. I'm gonna show y'all. So this is the window behind my bed, and my neighbor, stays over here. Window to window, all right? So with that being said, I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden, I just hear, mind y'all, I'm on the second floor, and my window is behind my bed, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, yo, did you hear that? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, let me call you back. So I hang up, and I go in the room, and I tell my mom, I'm like, mommy, somebody's knocking on my window. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So she tells me, don't look. So my mom turns the light off in my room, so I guess they couldn't see who was looking outside. And when we look, it's my fucking neighbor with a 10-foot pole knocking on my fucking window. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So my mom opens a window and was like, yo, like, what's the issue? So he's like, oh, I'm just making some seafood tonight, and I wanted to know if y'all wanted some. Why the hell didn't you ring the fucking doorbell? So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, okay, so we call the police and we file a police report or whatever, and my mom goes and talks to his wife, and his wife is all like, oh, well, I'm not gonna say his name. So she's like, oh, Sam is just really childish, you know, he likes to play around. Well, you don't play and knock on a fucking 15-year-old's fucking window at 9:30 at night. So I'm like, y'all, I'm really creeped out about this. So long story short, I have been getting stalked by this man for the past 5 or 6 years now. I'm 21 years old, and he still does this to this day. So if this has happened to you, please repost this video or share your opinion or whatever, because this is crazy. And if your neighbor ever does this to you, please call 911, please.
I'm gonna make this as brief as possible. This is your update. Here is part 2 of dealing with my neighbors that have no boundaries and destroy my property. Let's go. If you didn't watch part 1, go watch part 1. So essentially, I had texted everybody that lives on the roof and uses my roof, and I was like, basically like, you guys cannot use my roof anymore. And I'll put like the text message that I wrote them right here. But I'm no fool, and I know that I did give them permission to use my roof at one point. So I texted Courtney, giving her the benefit of the doubt, and also like to incriminate her and like have her admit that she received the text and her phone be off and stuff. So I texted all 3 of her phone numbers in a group chat, and I was like, hey babe, did you get the text message that I sent you guys about not using my roof essentially the other day? She had the audacity to text me back and basically say like, yeah, but that didn't warrant a response from me because that doesn't apply to me. But like, sorry that happened to you, boo. Totally disregarding everything else that they've done, like leave their cigarette butts, blah, 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 whatever. And just basically act like this doesn't pertain to me. It's not about me. Mind you, while I'm having this text conversation with her, I've already contacted the property manager, and I texted her last night, like at the time, that way she could like capture on the camera when they were going up my steps. And I had texted the property manager, like the text that I sent everybody on the roof, just establishing like a new norm. You're not allowed on my roof, whatever. So the property manager texted me and she's like, hey, like, did they ever like respond to the text, whatever? And I was like, no, they didn't. But I just sent her like a text basically like asking if she saw it. And she sent me this cocky ass text back. So the property manager was like, perfect, send it to me. But then I'm like dabbling in this conversation with Courtney a little bit. And I'm just like, basically, she's like, I didn't use your roof, whatever. Come to find out, it was 3 of like her guests. And I guess like her boyfriend told her that like, or her boyfriend had them come up there or whatever. And she sent me a text message screenshot, I'm going to put it here, of like basically her telling him not to use my roof, but then also like asking if I'm home. Like, what? So basically like, if I'm not home, then you're going to use my roof. A lot of people were saying like, put up cameras, put up cameras. The building has lots of cameras. There's a camera directly in my yard. So all of this is captured on video. But then she starts like basically trying to gaslight me, say like, I'm not explaining myself, like da 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 da. And I'm like, babe, I have very clearly and very nicely explained myself. And I told her like, I've been really nice up until this point, but you're low-key being a bitch. So like, I can be a bitch too. I really know how to play that game. And then she starts acting like I'm threatening her. And I'm like, no, like, I mean like, I'm a bitch in a professional way. I am going to Karen the hell out of your ass. So then I sent the longest email to my landlord, like essentially, and I'm pretty sure we have the same landlord. And basically like, it's long as hell. I'm going to put it up here, but like, it's extremely long because I had an extremely lengthy list of problems. And I like talked to the property manager on the phone. She hates them. Mind you, like majority of the units in my building are Airbnbs. So there's only a few tenants and everyone owns their like condo, apartment, whatever. And she like the property manager lady, I'm on the phone with her and she's telling me how like they harass like the Airbnb guests and just all this stuff. And she's trying to get rid of them. She's like, I wanted to warn you when you first moved in, but they already call me a racist, so like I didn't want you to like, I don't know, basically jump on the bandwagon. I'm like, bitch, you should have told me. Like I would have been like, okay. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea. Then I'm explaining to her like, you know, I don't really want to get anybody evicted. I don't really want like, you know what I mean? Because I'm really not that guy. Like I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, be in anybody's business. Then she tells me like, well, really Courtney and her son are the only people on the lease and that Courtney's boyfriend and his mom aren't on the lease. So she's been trying to kick them out for months because of that. Slash, like they have other issues with them. So like, you know, whenever you're trying to get kicked out or they're trying to kick you out of somewhere, they will like weaponize whatever they have against you. So I'm like, I don't know, whatever. But basically she's like, well, no matter what, I'm filing an incident report. I'm trespassing them. I sent all of this to the landlord. And on Monday, basically like they're getting reprimanded and hopefully like served paperwork. So as of now, that is the update. And then I did send my landlord also just like pictures and things of like proof of cigarette butts, beer bottle left on my roof, like whatever. Honestly, I clean it every single day, so there's not that much on there, but I'm trying to like let it accumulate, but like it just drives me crazy. So anyway, I should have an update by Monday as far as like what the next course of action is, and I am having them put a lock on my gate, and then I'm also having a privacy screen put up around the front of my yard. I'm not too concerned about retaliation, but I mean, I will also press charges. Like, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, I promise you I am establishing my boundaries. If anything happens before Monday, I will let you know. I'm getting a lot of comments that are saying this is my fault. Stop victim blaming. No, I'm just kidding. It is 100% my fault. And obviously I could be more rude and more blunt and just more direct. But I have worked very hard in my adult life to become this soft, nice person. I haven't always had the space or opportunity to not handle my conflicts with dramaticness. You know what I mean? And I've done a lot of work on myself, and I'm a firm believer that the actions of others should not dictate your actions. And I pride myself on being a good person and having a good heart and being forgiven and all of those things and showing people grace, because I have needed grace at a lot of points in my life. And I'm always very comfortable with any situation as long as I can go to sleep with the way I behaved in that situation. And at no point ever will I ever regret, well, I do regret it, but at no point ever will I ever be like, God forbid, I was too good of a person. You know what I mean? And if I have to retract and backstep and maybe, do other things to establish my boundaries, sure. But I know where my heart was in the beginning, and that's who I strive to be every day, if that makes sense. So I totally understand how this could be confusing. So this is the front of my house. This is my front gate. They live over there. These are my steps. They walk up my steps. Over there is like the pool and hot tub common area. Me and these 3 other neighbors have our own rooftop patios. For reference, this is my neighbor's patio. They are lovely. I love them. They come up my steps, and then back here, this is where you can access their apartment. I'd show you their yard, but that's a little invasive, and I have boundaries, and it's probably covered in dog poop. But essentially that's what it is. So they'll go up through the back of their house through my front yard. See? So they're gonna put a lock on that gate, so there's no connection. So I haven't heard anything just yet. I did see them last night while I was walking my dog, and I feel like they wanted to say hi to me, and I just looked at them like, why would we speak? But I can feed you in another way. I wasn't gonna post their yard because that's so shady, and obviously look at it, but whatever, I'm in my villain era. So I haven't received an update from my landlord or anybody about the situation going on with my current neighbors right now, but you all still deserve to be fed. And I've had some very crazy neighbors, so I'm gonna tell you the craziest story and get my foot off Courtney's neck for the day. So when I lived in my second apartment in LA, I had the absolute worst neighbor, way worse than Courtney and her boyfriend. Essentially, they would sell illegal substances, and basically crackheads would be knocking on my door, their door, all hours of the night. Obviously, I'm going to insert a video for proof. Who? Okay, not here.
No, the fuck.
The videos are good.
No.
But it was extremely unsafe, and then they also smoked cigarettes, so that smell would permeate from out of their apartment all the time. It was just disgusting. I would constantly be emailing my property manager boo, 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 which I'm gonna install or insert all of that as well. And basically they were there's nothing we can do, all of this stuff, whatever. And I'm just how is there nothing you can do? Not only are they selling things, there's strangers, people would be writing notes on the door. One time there was a note on the door, basically the person was saying they were gonna K exclamation point LL themselves. And I was how is this okay? And like, honestly, we tolerated it for a little bit, like whatever. But then I went on vacation. I was like trapped in a hurricane in Punta Cana. I will tell that story one day. And essentially, like, they had like a puppy or something. Mind you, 10 people lived in this apartment, even though it was like a one bedroom, like loft style, like penthouse. And like, I guess it was like a halfway house. So like but like a halfway house minus like them trying to not do DRUGSs anymore. Like, so they would just be in this house, like, and constantly, like, people would be moving in and getting evicted. So there were always just, like, tons of boxes in front of my house and everything. And I paid $3,700 to live in this apartment. But anyway, I was trapped in Punta Cana, like, 4 extra days than I was supposed to be because there was a hurricane and I was on vacation for my friend's birthday. And my boyfriend called me, like, frantic, and basically he was like, our neighbor's dog just ran into our house. They had a puppy at the time, and like, I guess, you know, I have a dog, so like my dog was freaking out, like it was freaking out. And so my boyfriend was like, get your dog, like what the hell. So then like they're like running around trying to get this dog out of my house, and Dustin's like freaking out, and like I told you, he's not that nice, so he's like cussing them out. And like basically the guy threatened Dustin, like basically like, oh, like I'll whoop your ass, like da-da-da-da-da. You can do whatever you want to me, say whatever you want to me. I have really tough skin. Do not fuck with my boyfriend. So I'm trapped in a hurricane, but I'm pissed. Like, when I heard about this, I immediately start emailing the, like, leasing lady, and I'm like, there's no way, like, I'm like, you better take care of this, because if I get home and I have to take care of this, it's gonna be an issue. So then I got home, I opened up my front door, I left it open, and I sat in a chair waiting for the man who threatened my boyfriend. And when I tell you, they hid in their house all day because I was screaming outside of my door like a lunatic. Like, you guys don't know, I really am a crash out. Like, I am a recovering crash out. That's why I've handled this with Courtney and her man so smoothly. Also, like, it's different. Courtney and her man, at one point, like, I considered them at least, like, kind of friends. You know what I mean? These people, I don't know them from Adam and Eve. I will slice and dice. Finally, obviously, I had to just, like, not, you know what I mean, like, pursue this any longer, because I'm like, I'm not gonna stand here all day. But I emailed the leasing lady like hella videos of like crackheads and all kinds of shit that they have coming in and out of their house, and I was like, this is not okay. Then the next day, I like wake up, my dog abruptly is like, "Roo!" And I'm like, what's wrong? The neighbor ripped the camera that I had, that I was sending all the videos about him to. Like, he ripped my camera out, and literally, like, I was like, what? So I like ran to figure out who it was, like all this stuff, like whatever. So obviously I run to the leasing office, and I'm like, what the fuck? You guys need to pay for my camera, da 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 da. You know, they had the audacity to tell me that I needed to file a renter's insurance claim. That really pissed me off. Anyway, that night, I went to the club with my friends, like whatever. We came home at like, I want to say like 3 or 4 a.m. When I got home, there was 30 SWAT team members outside my apartment. They looked to me and my friends, they're like, do you know who lives here? And it's obviously like my neighbors who just like have all that chaos going on. So I'm like, yeah, I do. They sell drugs, da 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 da. Like, they're doing a bunch of stuff. The SWAT team's like, okay, like if they come back, like here's our phone number. Like we needed to know where they are. So I'm like shook. Like, this man that I was about to have an altercation with today is getting looked for. I'm not lying. Like 30 SWAT team members. Like, it was crazy. And then my leasing lady sent me an email saying basically like, oh, like, good news, they got evicted, yada 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 yada, like whatever, like the apartment's vacant. And then the apartment was trashed, like, because when the SWAT team was there, I like went into their apartment with the SWAT team because I was like being nosy. It was so bad in there, like horrible. I have a video somewhere, I'm gonna look for it. But I never saw that man again. And you know, I was just like, this is crazy. And then the woman who moved into that apartment after him was like equally as bad. Like, it was crazy. And of course they knew each other. I'll tell you that story another time. Courtney, don't think I'm letting you rest, girl. Tomorrow, when the landlord lets me know what's going on, I'm back on that ass.
So I just got back from my sister's. I went to go pick up something, and on my way back, walking back into my building, I see a woman overhead. She's sweeping with a broom or whatever on her balcony, which is over the walkway. I'm not close yet, but I feel something, and I'm like, is it raining? And she stops. She's like, oh, my bad. So she's sweeping there, and it's wet. She stops. When she sees me, look up. And so I kind of walk around. But apparently there's water and whatever she's sweeping over the entire balcony, which is over the entire walkway to get in. And something drops all on my shoulder. I'm immediately alarmed. I'm like, oh! And I walk in the building and I turn around and I look and I see more stuff seeping out, which looks real sus. I'm like, all I can think of is, what the fuck is this? I don't know that bitch. Let me cleanse my fucking entire soul. So I go inside and I wash my entire body in Dial. I usually hit the hot spots with Dial and then use my favorite whatever, body wash after, or soap. And so I just washed every ounce of my body in Dial. Then I washed every ounce of my body in my regular body wash. And then I said, bitch, you could have got something in your fucking hair. If you're natural, you know. I just washed my hair Monday. I had no intentions of washing my hair again till at least next Monday. And I've been very lazy not wanting to do wash days. So the idea that I had to wash my hair again, oh. So I didn't just use regular shampoo. I used clarifying shampoo because I don't know that bitch. I washed very good just to make sure. Threw in a little conditioner. Then I did all my hair and it's pulled back right now. My clothes, sanitize cycle in the washer because I don't know that bitch. I'm tired, disgusted, but clean, very clean. And all I can say is, it's close to people getting off work. Why are you cleaning your fucking nasty ass balcony over the walkway for people to walk in? Around the time most people are coming home from work. I'm just disgusted.
Okay, so why did I just get into it with my neighbor? Y'all, I don't know what's going on. The devil is really coming for me. So tell me why me and my family, we in here, we chilling, we talking, me, both my boys and my daughter-in-law, and my grandbaby playing. She's 1 year old, a 1 year old little girl. She running back and forth, and we out here talking, playing, laughing with the baby, having a good time as a family. It's about 11:30 in the morning. This was yesterday morning, okay? So tell me why all of a sudden we hear a boom, 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 like real hard at the door. Real hard. Boom, boom, like the police or something. So my son goes to the door. He like, what the, he opened up the door. It's my neighbor from downstairs. This little young girl. She can't be no more than about 22, if that. She say, can y'all please have the baby? Can y'all please have that baby sit down? Because I work overnight and I sleep during the day. And she just running back and forth. Can y'all sit her down? Can y'all sit her down? My back hurt and this, and that. Can y'all sit her down? And I was like, yeah, she's 1 year old and it's 11:30. We're not going to sit her down. No, she's going to run free. It's 11:30 in the daytime. Unfortunately you work at night, but no, we're not going to be. And then she just like took out, she, in the midst of me talking, she just walked away like, fuck what I'm talking about. You hear me? Okay. Now, that already didn't sit well with me because I didn't get a chance to tell her about beating on my door. So that wasn't sitting well with me, that I didn't get to express my feelings about that. So then, I go about my day or whatever, again, like I said, I'm feeling salty because I didn't express my feelings about the situation. You hear me? Let me adjust my wig. Anyway. So I go on about my day or whatever. I come back to the house last night and I see her standing at the car downstairs talking to some dude. So I walk up on her to the car. I was like, you beat on my door last night. Do you know that you beat on my door? She was like, yeah. I was like, do you know that? I was like, that was disrespectful. How do you feel about that? I was like, you don't feel like that was, disrespectful for you to beat on my door like that? She was like, no. I was like, well, going forward, my grandbaby is only 1 year old. She's gonna run. She's gonna tell me I don't feel like talking right now. It's what this showed me after she just done beat on my door and told me to sit my 1 year old grandbaby down. I don't feel like talking right now. I say, well, just going forward, don't knock on my door no more. Don't ever knock on my door no more. My grandbaby gonna roam free and she gonna do her. And so, I'm walking away and she talking shit or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm trying to go on up my stairs or whatever. But, now me and her having words at this point. We having words. So I was like, disrespectful little bitch. Because she is a disrespectful little bitch. I hear her down there disrespecting her mama. Slamming doors, being disrespectful all the time. I'm sure her mama probably want her out her house. Now, I'm very respectful with my neighbors, y'all. I love my neighbors. We have to live together, but we have to live here together. So I normally try to get along. You know what I mean? Like, I always try to get along with whoever the neighbor may be. But this girl tried it. Then, so while me and her having words, she was like, let me go get my mama. So her mama come out door. She talking about, yeah, now what's up, bitch? Girl, I put my purse down like, what is you talking about? What's up? What is you talking about? Because, I'm a woman of God, and I'm trying my best. But, bitch, I ain't always been this woman, and don't get it twisted. I think for whatever reason, because people see that, I'm trying to be, I ain't even trying, because I am a woman of God. And I'm working on, I'm not Sister Mary Clarence. We all have our thing that we need to work on, right? But yeah, she tried me. She tried me. And then trying like, yeah, my mama here now. What's up? Bitch, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, what's up? I don't give a fuck about none of that. We all can rumble. Like where I'm from, it wouldn't be my first time fighting two people. And I ain't never been beat up. But I don't start nothing with people neither. Now, I don't think I'm bad. All the bad people dead. And I know it's somebody for everybody. But I'm a very friendly person. I'm non-confrontational. And I try my best to avoid confrontation when I can. So if it is a problem, 10 times out of 10, you started the problem with me. So God gonna give me all the strength that I need every time to make sure that you are handled accordingly. Because I don't mess with people. And I don't deserve to be bothered. And me and my grandbaby don't deserve to be bothered and come up here and try to tell me to sit my 1-year-old grandbaby down. Don't let her run back and forth. She ain't even heavy enough for it to be a problem. Oh, man. I heard my car. Anyway, so yeah. That happened. Then this little bitch gonna tell me she'll shoot somebody. Bitch. Everybody in my house is a level 3 officers. One thing we not short on is a gun. And we all know how to use them. Bitch, don't tell me threatening somebody talking about a gun. So I'm making sure to make a report about that. About her talking about then that's the problem. Little young folks and all that get a gun and then think somebody's scared of a gun. Bitch, people die every day with a gun. No, that's not how it goes. But that was a lot. And I'ma pray for her mama because her mama seemed like she's a non-confrontational woman too. Like I told her mama, you should have came up here and knocked on my door and talked to us because the way that little girl beat on my door like she was the police and then stood there with an attitude and tried to tell me to sit my 1-year-old grandbaby down, hell no, I would never. And a bitch would never. So none of that was working for me. And it didn't sit well with me how the situation ended, and I didn't get to tell her don't fuck with my grandbaby. Don't say shit to me about my grandbaby. She ain't did nothing. She a 1-year-old baby. We're a non-confrontational family. Please leave us alone. We don't want no problems with nobody. We don't bother people. We are very nice people, actually. Friendly and to give you our last. Don't do us. But at the same time, it ain't sweet. It ain't sweet. So, yeah, that happened. Y'all pray for me. Because people are steady coming for me. And I don't even know why. I'm not the one of the two. You know. I mean, and not to mention the fact that it was 11:30 in the morning. This a 1-year-old baby. It's 11:30 in the morning. What did you want me to do? Stop my grandbaby from being a kid? Not let her run around and be a kid? She's literally just running around the house. She was not, like, it was no reason for the way that she totally overreacted, beat on my door, and then came up there and rudely told me, y'all need to sit her down. Excuse me? Girl, these people are crazy.
Hey guys, I hope everyone's had a great night. First, please excuse the amount of sweat that I'm producing. I am very shiny. It is very, very hot in my house. Still no power upstairs, downstairs, questionable air unit, so it's a little warm, so just ignore this, okay? Also, if you didn't see my video from earlier today, I did get the job I applied for last week, so thank you again. Thank you for all of your well wishes. Again, it is part-time, 2 days a week, but it's a start. It's something better than nothing, and I'm excited to start. Just have to figure out daycare, which is a big stressor at this point, but whatever, we'll get there. So today, I should have known things were going too well. I haven't had to deal with my neighbors in a while. Like, things have been pretty quiet since I stopped allowing her and her kids to come over and destroy my son's shit. If you're curious, there's a video a while back. It started out with me making an Am I the Asshole video because my neighbor and her kids literally destroyed my son's big blow-up pool that I let, her, all the neighborhood kids use. And it just progressed on from there. Her kids have broken a ton of my son's stuff, and it just got really bad. It got to the point where I told her that they weren't allowed to come over if we weren't out on our front porch because they just helped themselves. And I took everything that was out there and moved it to the back or brought it inside. The only thing that is still out front is a sandbox, that like a homemade container filled with a bunch of sand. And inside the sandbox, under the lid, is where I keep all like the sand toys and his trucks and stuff that he plays in that sandbox with. When I got home from the interview Friday evening, I noticed that it was starting again because some toys that were in the sandbox were on the sidewalk. My son's shovel, it's like that big, was in the street, and my son's bike, which was on the porch when we left, was down on the sidewalk. So I was livid. I knew it had to be the neighbor kids because it's never anybody else. Cleaned everything up, brought the bike back up, and then earlier today, my son and I were downstairs in our living room, and you can see out our front window, like directly onto our front porch. And there are some slats missing from the dog and the cats being nosy in the blinds. So I kept seeing movement going by. And I was like, I could tell it was the daughter, the 11-year-old. We'll just call her girl, and the 2-year-old baby, we'll just go with baby because I don't want to do like the name thing. So I knew that the girl was at least out there. I opened the door, and of course it's her and the baby. Mom is nowhere to be found. And I felt bad, but my first reaction was anger because I've gone over this so many times. Do not come over unless we're out. And you ask, like for part 2. Sorry, it's going to be multi-part. Okay, part 2. So they're out there playing. They took the lid off the sandbox. They just helped themselves, like always. Took the lid off the sandbox. The baby is in the process of breaking my son's net. He has I think all kids have these. It's like a little net and it has a handle. It's like that long. It's like for catching butterflies, little fish, whatever. It's a net. He's in the process of actively breaking it in half. So we're not out there for more than a minute and the net gets broken. My son gets really upset, and I take the net because the baby's swinging it around. And I asked the girls, where's your mom? You guys know you're not supposed to be over here unless we're out here. She's like, well, mommy told us to go over here and play. And I don't question that she's telling me the truth. I'm very certain that is what happened. I was like, she told you to come over here and play? You guys know you're not supposed to come over here because you leave stuff out. I was like, were you over here Friday? She's like, well, we're always inside. I was like, girl, stop. Just tell me. Just tell me. She's like, oh, yeah, we were. I forgot to clean up again. I was like, you can't be over here unless we are out. please, please, it's not unreasonable. So by this time, mom comes out and she's like pitter-pattering around on her front porch, getting ready for people to come over, I guess, for like a cookout. So she's literally over there, has the grill on the sidewalk, she's cooking, doesn't say 2 words to me, doesn't say anything, but just like periodically comes over and asks where the baby is, like to make sure he's still fucking there. He was there the whole time, but I guess, I don't know, she's never cared before, but whatever. Didn't say anything, didn't say, hey, is it okay if they're over here? Hey, thanks for letting them play. Like nothing. Not, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to send them over. I was so angry. Because by this time, the baby is throwing a fit. He's getting at everything because he's a 2-year-old. That's what they do. You know, that's what they do. He was trying to, my son's bike has a horn on it. He was trying to take the horn off the bike. My son was not happy with that, so I took the bike inside. Baby's yelling and screaming. Mom pops up, what's wrong? So he was trying to take apart Hunter's bike. I put it inside. I was like, please don't let them over here if we're not out. Because Hunter's net's already been broken. You know other stuff's been broken. Oh, well, nothing's been broken. They haven't broken anything. She knows damn well they have. We've been through all this before. But now she decides to get an attitude. I don't know why. And I look at her, it's like, you know that they have. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but please, I just don't want them over here if I'm not out. All right, I just don't want to have any more problems. Point blank, period. Then, there's going to be one more part. I'm sorry, part 3. Okay, part 3. So she's going back and forth with me. I can't, at this point, I feel like I'm going crazy because we've already had this conversation like months ago. She accepted it. You know, we were good. I said what I had to say, like same exact conversation. She knew the kids were breaking stuff. She knew they weren't cleaning up. She knew that they were taking stuff. Never apologized, never replaced anything, never did any of that. But she knew it was going on. She damn well knew. So now she's acting all of a sudden like she didn't. I don't know why. I guess because I doubled down on not wanting them over there without me. Because since we had the original conversation, she hadn't let the kids over at all. Like, this is the first time they'd come over since we talked. And I don't mind them being there. Hunter loves playing with the girl. He loves it. And she's great with him. And I hate that he can't have, like, that friendship. He should be able to. But I just want a little bit of mutual respect. And she has. The mom has none. Absolutely none. So she's going back and forth with me. The baby is still freaking out. At this point, he has the little shovel. And he's digging in the sand. And he's digging the sand and throwing it up. And digging and throwing it up. So sand's like raining down. He finally takes one more scoop of sand, throws it up, hits Hunter in the face, my son, my 4-year-old, in the face, gets in his eyes, mouth. He's crying, screaming, freaking out. I look at her, I'm like, this is why they're not fucking allowed over here. I'm done. I am done. So she gets all pissed off, takes the shovel out of the baby's hand, throws it. Now that's back in the street. Thanks. I drag Hunter inside to clean him off. She drags the kids over, yelling, screaming, stomping, whatever. Then I get Hunter to calm down, get him in the bath, get his eyes flushed and everything. His eyes are still red. Anyway, then like an hour or two later, there's a like really faint, goddamn cat, sorry, really faint knock on the door. So I answer it, and it's the girl. And I'm like, what are you doing over here? She was like, well, Mommy doesn't know I'm over here. She went out, but I'm sorry what happened earlier, and I hope that we can still come over, but Mommy's not going to let us over here with you anymore, and I'm not supposed to talk to you anymore. Like, this poor girl, and maybe I shouldn't have yelled or gotten into it with her, but I didn't know what else to do. Like, I can only take so much, you know, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it going on and it happening. And my son shouldn't be the one to suffer and lose all of his toys because of ignorant people, you know? So while the girl's over there, I give her a hug, tell her it's not her fault, and I gave her dinner because her mother did not, which is usual. So that was today.
Story time about how I found out that my man had a baby on the way. So this is around, you know, some time ago and whatever, and this is around like this was around the winter time, And this person had slid in my DM and whatever. So I had did my homework before I had slid back, and I had found out some stuff. Then I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna pursue it because I'm straight. Long story short, I figured out that the stuff that I found out wasn't true. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna proceed, but I'm gonna proceed with caution. So with me proceeding with caution and whatever, he had slid up on myself and whatever. I reply sometimes, but not all the time. Where I reply like real late. Because in the midst of all this, I'm still doing my homework and I'm still trying to figure out what is this. Because mind you, this is somebody totally new. He don't know me, I don't know him, and I'm just like, how did you find my page? Mind you, on IG, I do have a lot of followers on IG, and my videos was going viral at the time. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is how he found my page. And then he told me that he did find my page. I was on his For You page. Okay, cool. Niggas like everyday beats. I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna continue to proceed with caution. Me proceeding with caution, we end up DMing back and forth for a couple of months and whatever, and then finally we had exchanged numbers. Now, when we exchanged numbers, just around Christmas time. So when he finally called me and whatever, and we was talking on the phone, it was, you know, it was late because I had just got done coming from my friend's birthday dinner or whatever. So it was like midnight, 1 o'clock and whatever. And I noticed that he talking to me, he outside, like he in a car, he's driving. So he like, we having a good ass conversation or whatever, and I'm just knowing like, okay, you know, he cool and whatever. Mind you, he a Virgo, I'm a Virgo. I'm like, okay, we gonna see how this go because we both crazy. Well, I ain't crazy, but you know, however. So he like, I'm gonna call you when I get in the house. I'm gonna call you back when I get in the house. So I'm like, okay, cool. He never called me back. That was red flag number 1. So me being me, if I don't like something, I'm not the type of person that sit back and dwell on it, or you feel. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. I end up sending him a message like, look, do this here. If you're dealing with somebody, if you fucking up somebody, you got a girlfriend, in-house girlfriend, you can't talk when you in the house. Let me know. We can cut ties right now. I'm like, don't be selfish. You know, you come back around when you all the way 100% single, but don't be selfish because I'm not with that shit. I'm like, because whatever it is, trust me, I'm going to find out. You know, a man being a man. Oh no, it's nothing. Yada yada blah blah blah. Okay, cool, small, whatever. So we talking, but I'm still proceeding with my little caution. So he ended up disappearing on me. Like, he disappeared out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I chalked it up. Okay. He ended up deleting IG and everything. I ain't reach out or nothing. I left it at what it was. Next thing you know, this man pops back up like a month later. He takes my phone. I didn't reply. He texts me again like, I know you missed me. I didn't reply. And he texts me again like, I know you see my messages. And I replied. I'm like, what's up? Because, you know, I ain't into these kid games. You feel me? Like, either we gone or we not. You feel me? Like, I'm not into that. I'm straight. I'm cool. So from there, we end up not talking again. Like we didn't talk again. Then finally we end up talking and we end up going on our first date. Now it was February. Mind you, I started talking to him like December 20-something. It was right before New Year's. So it was like December 20-something. We go on our first date sometime in February. Okay, Pete, we go on our first date. We see that, you know, okay, we both do look like our pictures and we know we want to mess with each other type shit. But still, it was just like, I'm still proceeding with my little caution. However, we end up getting real close. We end up getting real cool whenever we talk. We would text all the time. We never used to really talk on the phone, but we would text all the time. And we was getting cool. One day we ended up getting into it for something. I can't remember exactly what we got into it for, but we ended up getting into it for something. And he sent me my address. He sent me my full name, my address. And was like, once you get off work, he was like, I hope you have a bad day, and when you get off work, I'm gonna make it worse. Yo, I never gave this man my full name or my address. So when he sent that, I said, oh shit. He's crazy. Me being me, when I get an attitude or when I'm done with something, when I'm off it, I automatically shut down and I stop talking. So that's kind of what I had did. So he never put us in our house because he said he was scared I was gonna call the police. So he never put us in our house. Okay, cool. Fast forward and whatever. We end up getting past that. Fast forward and whatever. Okay. So we now as this we done really got locked in. Like we going on dates. We seeing each other. You know, he like we together. Point blank period. He don't. As soon as I post where you at, what you doing, like he clocking my team. So let's fast forward to I want to say June. Now here it is, June and whatever, and he uploaded a picture, and the way he uploaded the picture. Okay, this is part 2 on how I found out that my man had a baby on the way. Okay, so we're going to take the story back just a little bit. So, that day I was having literally the worst day of my life. I had went to go get my lash extension done by somebody new. And I don't know what happened, but it's like my eyes had an allergic reaction to the glue that she used, so my eyes would not stop watering. So she had to take off the lash extensions, and whatever she was taking it off with, whatever lash remover she was taking off with, was burning the shit out of me. So I'm thinking I'm about to go blind in the whole process. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I will pluck these boys off. I went to go get me an oil change. That's all I had left there and whatever. Mind you, I done text my man like, I'm having the worst day of my life. Like, this is not, oh my God. I'm distraught. So, yeah, he still have yet to text me back. Okay, whatever. So I keep going about my day. I go get an oil change. After my oil change, I go to CVS. So as I go to CVS and whatever to pick up my baby prescription, her prescription wasn't ready. I had went through a drive-thru. So I'm like, okay, cool. Her prescription not ready. I'm going to just sit in my car and whatever until it's ready. So as I'm sitting in my car, I end up dropping something on my floor. So as I go down there to pick it up, I see that my car is smoking. So I'm like, my car? Like, I'm the type of girl, I don't play that. I don't play no lights on my dashboard, none of that. I make sure all my stuff is up to par, up to T, because I got kids. I'm not trying to be stranded no motherfucker way. So I get out my car. As I get out my car, I see that underneath my car is wet. Like, on the ground is wet. So I'm like, what the hell? So the man seen me looking. So he's like, yeah, that look like, it could be oil. I'm like, what? I just got my oil change. So he go over and touch. He's like, oh yeah, that's oil for sure. So now I'm instantly irritated. Like, what the fuck did the oil change place do to my car? Because my truck was never leaking. Nothing was leaking. So I'm irritated. So I'm texting him as I'm walking in CVS and get my baby prescription. Like, oh my God, my oil leaking. My car was smoking, my oil leaking. I don't know. I called him. He didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, Mr. So fucking busy. So I end up calling my brother. My brother ended up coming up there. The oil people ended up coming up there. I end up getting my truck fixed, cool, smooth. So I'm riding home or whatever. So I'm instantly just exhausted now. I'm like, oh my God, I had the worst day of my life. Oh my God, like, what the So as I get home or whatever, and I'm getting ready, I need a nap at this point. But I'm like, I still haven't heard from my man. It's been about 3 hours now. I still haven't heard from my man. So I'm like, okay, it's not like him. I go to his social media. So on his social media, on his Instagram, he posted a picture at a baby shower. And I'm like, okay. So I'm keep scrolling through. And he's matching the theme of the baby shower. So y'all know how they be having like the neutral colors. Oh, welcome baby, whatever. It was neutral. They had a neutral baby shower. So he had on like a brown neutral fit. So I'm like, so as I keep scrolling, I see his friends playing baby shower games, but he's not playing the games. So I'm like, well, why the fuck your friends participating, but you not participating like you the man of the hour or something? Then I keep seeing that his friends is reposting him on their story. But nobody's saying congratulations. Nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's saying nothing that make it look like it's his baby shower. So I'm like, okay, the fuck is y'all reposting this man for? Like, I don't get it. I'm like, I know this ain't his motherfucking baby shower. So I instantly screenshot the picture, send it to the group chat. And the group chat consists of me, my sister, my cousin, and my best friend. So I'm like, what this look like? So my sister like, is this nigga at his own baby shower? So my best friend like, it look like he got a baby on the way. So my cousin like, bitch, I know this nigga ain't got no baby on the way. And I'm like, well, I ain't pregnant. I ain't there. I'm in my bed. I just had the worst day of my fucking life. So I'm trying to figure out who pregnant and what the fuck. So I instantly, me being me, they like, you ain't say nothing to him? I'm like, no, I ain't say nothing yet. I'm like, I'm about to say something right now. So me being me, I go back to the story and I reply, I comment on the story that he posted of him at the baby shower with the matching fit that matches the baby shower. I'm like, damn, boo, you ain't tell me I'm gonna be a stepmother or two. The fuck? So he like, what the fuck is you talking about? So I instantly was like, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You mentioned this boring ass baby shower thing. So what's up? What's like what we getting to? Like what's going on? So he like, you dumb as hell if you think this my baby shower. This not my baby shower. This my man's baby shower. Something. Actually, rewind. He never did not say that it was his baby shower. He said, what the fuck did he say?